The cameras flashed, just blinding everyone gathered there. And the roar of the crowd, usually it's all cheers, but it just suddenly turned into this stunned collective silence.
Yeah, like the air went out of the room.
Exactly. What started as a pretty standard acceptance speech at the San Diego Film Festival, predictable, probably rehearsed, it just exploded, became a stunning front-page headline.
Hollywood drama always knows how to make an entrance, doesn't it?
It really does. And this time, the timing was just, well, supersonic. Just 2 years, really less than 2 years after navigating one of the most high-profile divorces we've seen in a while. Joe Manganiello has shocked the entire celebrity news cycle. He's taken the next big step.
This is exactly the kind of Hollywood twist, that speed that we love to unpack here. Welcome in.
Welcome to Starscope Report. This is the show where we take those huge celebrity stories, the shakeups in the music world, the viral moments, and we actually uncover what's really going on behind the fame, behind the headlines.
I'm Jamie, your expert guide through the drama. And today, we are diving deep into a romance moving at, like, warp speed. It's fueled by shock. Surprise. Joe Manganiello is engaged again.
And like the title says, fans are absolutely stunned.
Stunned is the word.
Okay, let's unpack this right away, because the shock factor here is kind of twofold, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the speed of the relationship itself, sure, but maybe more importantly, it's the speed and the way they announced it.
Right.
So Manganiello, he's 48, is engaged to actress and host Caitlin O'Connor, who's 36.
And the reveal itself. Pure Hollywood drama. So TMZ got the scoop first. Manganiello was up there accepting the Career Spotlight Award at the San Diego Film Festival. This was Thursday, October 16, 2025. He gets to the microphone, gives a nice speech, seems pretty standard. Then right at the very end, he pauses, looks directly at O'Connor in the audience, and just casually refers to her as his fiancée. First time ever in public.
Wow, just dropped it like that.
The room apparently just erupted. Imagine being there.
I can only imagine. But here's where it gets really interesting, right? Especially when you think about controlling the story, the narrative.
Okay.
The very next day, Friday, October 17th, the official confirmation hits Instagram. It's this, sweet selfie, the happy couple, their little chihuahua, Bubbles.
Bubbles. Go love Bubbles.
And O'Connor is flashing what InStyle called a massive sparkly new ring. You couldn't miss it.
But the caption wasn't just some cute message, was it? That was the real bombshell.
Exactly. It just said, June 24th, 2025. That date. June 24th. That was the actual proposal date.
Hold on. June 24th.
June 24th.
So wait, they kept a major celebrity engagement. I mean, a ring that big, a relationship this watch, they kept it totally secret for nearly 4 months. June to October.
4 months. That is... Well, that's practically a lifetime in Hollywood news cycles. It's kind of a masterclass in secrecy, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And, it tells you something important about their strategy, I think. That kind of calculated delay. It means they completely sidestep the immediate, inevitable comparisons to his last marriage right after the proposal happened.
Good point.
They basically maximized the PR splash by announcing it completely on their own terms, using that career high moment at the film festival.
Yeah.
It wasn't some rushed tabloid leak. It felt very managed, very deliberate.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't spilled by some anonymous source, or revealed on a planned glossy magazine cover like you might expect. It was deployed strategically. And just for context, because it matters.
Yeah.
This is Manganiello's second marriage, obviously following that very public split from Sofia Vergara. And it's O'Connor's first time planning a wedding.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, I mean, the speed is the defining factor here. It really kicks off this whole deep dive. This is a commitment timeline that almost redefines Whirlwind.
Well, I don't know if it redefines Whirlwind as much as it maybe skirts close to rebound, doesn't it? I mean, we need to look critically at this timeline. How does this level of speed happen so soon after a 7-year marriage ends? Let's just lay out the dates, because they really explain why fans are so stunned.
Okay, let's do it. Starting with the end of the last chapter. Manganiello officially filed for divorce from Sofia Vergara in July 2023.
Okay, July 2023. By September 2023, that's just 2 months later, romance rumors with Caitlin O'Connor were already starting to bubble up.
2 months. Wow. Then by December 2023, so 5 months after the divorce filing, they made their official red carpet debut together. That was at the Children of Armenia Fund Gala in New York, basically confirming, we're serious, we're public.
Right, confirmation. And then here's the real accelerator. Less than a year after he filed for divorce, sources reported they moved in together. That was apparently February 2024.
Okay, moved in February 2024.
Then the proposal, which we now know was June 24th, 2025. This entire emotional recovery, finding someone new, committing, it all unfolded in the public eye in under 2 years.
Wild. And what's also fascinating here is the origin story itself.
Hmm.
How they met. They clearly want people to know how it happened, but we're getting conflicting accounts from the sources.
Yeah.
Which makes you kind of question the narrative they're trying to build, you know?
That's right. Okay, so one source told People magazine they met in a mutual friend's kitchen. You know, the classic, sweet, kind of grounded, relatable story.
Meet cute rom-com.
But then another source, talking to InStyle, claimed they met in a hot tub at an after party for O'Connor's HBO show, Winning Time.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
A mutual friend's kitchen versus a hot tub at an HBO party. Those are two wildly different vibes, aren't they? One sounds like, deep connection, shared community.
Right, very down to earth.
And the other sounds like immediate classic Hollywood heat.
Yeah.
Spectacle.
Yeah. Which one is it? Or maybe it was both.
That confusion itself might be telling.
Right.
It's like they're trying to give the relationship both street cred, the kitchen romance, and that Hollywood sparkle, the hot tub meet cute, maybe trying to appeal to everyone.
Could be. Regardless of exactly where sparks flew, sources seem to agree that Manganiello has treated O'Connor like a queen from the start. So this relationship wasn't just fast, it seems like it got deep and highly committed almost immediately, like a look at the romantic world tour they reportedly took.
Yeah, that's where you really see the commitment level, I think.
Yeah.
They didn't just, hang out in L.A. Sources mentioned this big romantic trip they hit Italy,
Right.
then flew way north to Finland to catch a Metallica concert.
Finland, from Metallica. Okay, that's specific and kind of cool.
Right, definitely unique couples activity.
Yeah.
And then they finished up in Paris, Louvre, Versailles, a whole romantic ideal.
And it seems like O'Connor really understands how to make that emotional investment too, doesn't it? Apparently, she planned his 48th birthday dinner back in January 2025. Even got custom cakes made, dedicated to his big love, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, that's sweet. But the detail that really seals it for me, the personal touch showing she gets him, was the gift. She reportedly commissioned a custom solid gold crocodile pendant.
Ah, yes. That's a deep cut, isn't it? It references his character, Mr. Zero, from the anime One Piece. He's famously obsessed with that.
Exactly. That's not some generic necklace,
Yeah.
That's really specific, focused affection. It says, I see you, I get your passions.
And she clearly shares some of those connections, too. Not only does she apparently have ties to Pittsburgh, where he's from, but she's also credited with helping turn their chihuahua, Bubbles, into, like, an Instagram star.
Ah, Bubbles. A real bonding point for them, it seems.
Definitely. And just so everyone listening knows, Caitlin O'Connor isn't just a celebrity fiancé. She has her own career going. She's an accomplished host and actress. You might have seen her in shows like 2.5 Men or Key and Peele.
Right. And most recently, she played Diane Cannon on HBO's Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. So she's definitely established in her own right.
Absolutely. Okay, if you're loving these kinds of Hollywood twists and just how fast these relationships can move, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope Report. We have even crazier stories coming your way.
But, as quickly as this news story is moving forward, we really can't ignore the huge emotional shadow it's kind of emerging from, can we?
No, exactly. It's impossible to really get the sheer speed and the suddenness of this new commitment without revisiting that very public, very scrutinized 2023 split from Sofia Vergara. They were married 7 years. The divorce wasn't finalized until early 2024. And that divorce, as you probably remember, it got kind of messy because there were two wildly conflicting stories playing out in public about why it ended.
Right. The narratives clashed.
Totally. The first story came from Vergara herself. She spoke to the Spanish newspaper El País back in January 2024, and she claimed the marriage ended mainly because Manganiello was younger, he desperately wanted kids, and she felt she was just too old to be an old mom, as she put it.
Okay, so that's the biological clock narrative.
Pretty much. But then Manganiello publicly pushed back on that. Just a few months later, in Men's Journal, July 2024, he stated it very plainly. That's simply not true.
Wow. Direct denial.
Yeah. He totally rejected the idea that he gave her some kind of ultimatum about kids or that he was having some sort of midlife crisis. He just maintained that they simply grew apart.
So the public was left with two completely different reasons for the split. Her story about wanting kids versus his story about just growing apart emotionally.
Exactly. And the fact that the reasons were so different really highlights that struggle celebrities face, doesn't it? Trying to control the narrative after a breakup, like who gets to decide why the marriage ended in the public's mind?
And knowing that emotional backdrop, that conflict, makes the speed of this new engagement feel even more significant, I think. A source apparently close to Manganiello noted that whatever the official reason, he was initially devastated and felt like a failure after the divorce.
Mhm.
They said he just never expected the marriage to end like that.
Hearing that emotional weight,
Mhm.
it makes the need for this kind of quick, total commitment, moving in fast, the big world tours, the proposal. It feels less like a typical slow burn romance, maybe more like, I don't know, an emergency landing. Like he needed that stability
Yeah,
fast.
maybe. But now, that same source is saying he's very happy and really grateful for another chance. They specifically noted that O'Connor has been good for him. So it does seem like this new fast-paced relationship maybe provided that immediate, necessary emotional anchor he needed to move past that feeling of failure.
And look, this rapid commitment, it isn't happening in a total vacuum, is it? We're seeing a bit of a trend in Hollywood right now, it feels like. Celebrities, especially ones coming out of these long, really high-profile relationships, they seem to be jumping into new engagements with just unprecedented speed.
It does feel like a pattern. It's like this drive for immediate public stability. You look at the recent reports about Brittany Snow's ex, Tyler Stanaland, getting engaged quickly, or musicians like Darius Rucker finding a fast connection after his split.
Yeah.
Even the constant buzz around Zoe Deutsch's engagement.
Right. Or even the relentless speculation about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, though that's still just rumors.
Exactly. The pressure to prove you're okay, you're happy, you found the one again. It seems to be pushing these commitment timelines into overdrive. And this Manganiello-Connor engagement, it's just the most dazzling recent example of that.
So, okay, let's circle back to the core fact that kind of kicked this whole deep dive off. The public announcement was only 5 months after his divorce was officially finalized. But the proposal itself, that happened 4 months before anyone knew, kept under wraps.
Which leaves us with a big final question, doesn't it? Something for you listening to think about. What does this combination, this blinding speed, paired with really tactical secrecy, what does it tell us about how love, or at least commitment, works in the celebrity world today?
Yeah, is that speed now like the necessary currency? The way you prove recovery is complete, stability is achieved, and the previous failure is just a footnote in a much happier new chapter?
Or is finding the one sometimes just so obvious, so quick in Hollywood that you propose in June, keep it quiet, and then wait for the perfect camera-ready moment in October to maximize the impact?
That's a debate we'll definitely let you chew on.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks so much for tuning in. And seriously, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.